the thing about IDDSI is, in order for it to be implemented properly, everyone on the team has a role. Anyone who has anything to do with feeding folks has a role in knowing IDDSI, and in particular, knowing IDDSI in general, but in particular, knowing the IDDSI testing methods, because that empowers everyone to play a role in safety, in patient safety and resident safety. My name is Margaret Roach, and I'm a registered dietitian. I'm the founder of Roach Dietitians, which is a Chicago-based national dietetic consulting group. We do focus, a big part of our focus is on senior living and nutrition for the older adult. My IDDSI story is probably not unlike a lot of people's IDDSI journey, except mine started earlier. I was an early enthusiast, and I say that tongue in cheek because for those of us who've gone through it, in the beginning you think, oh great, new standards for textured modified foods and thickened liquids. We've had this, we all know that there's kind of this need there because it's not real firm about what we should do. There's a lot of confusion about language. There's confusion about what the standards are. And it's been like that since the beginning. It's an interest of mine in a big way. So I was excited about it. But as you get into it, you realize that this is a huge change for us as an industry. And I've been saying, in the 35 plus years I've been doing this is the biggest change in therapeutic diets that I've ever seen. So that's how I got started. But I knew that I needed to adapt what I was doing for our menu clients. And so I had to learn it. And it was a learning curve, even though, again, it's what I do all day. And so there was this big learning curve there. And so once I figured out what I needed to figure out, I knew I needed to share that information. One is get started. You may not feel completely comfortable with IDDSI, and dietitians and dining leaders are the type of people who I like to say we're the little red hens of the world. We can take care of stuff ourselves and get it done. But, and so the impulse is to say, oh, I need to understand this a little deeper. But there are ways to get started. Because as you begin, it doesn't have to be perfect to get started. And as you begin, you learn. I encourage people through this concept that I've created, which is start with purees. So one is get started, and two is get started with purees. And I have a blog post I wrote on it, and I have some training I've done on it around this, but basically we're all serving purees. It's on our menu. We don't have to change our diet orders. We don't have to get other disciplines involved initially. It fulfills that, little red hen impulse in us. We can do that on our own, and we can do it tomorrow. Get a poster. We have posters that we sell. Post the poster, show your folks the framework, circle puree, get the fork out, get the spoon out, teach people the testing methods. Boom, guess what? You're implementing IDDSI. The thing is, that's not talked a lot about with IDDSI is you're gonna have to change your menu. You're gonna have to change your recipes. You're gonna have to change your diet manual. And for those of us who've been around a while, we used to do all that by hand. This is the perfect time to take a look at your systems, because you do have to change these systems. And it's a perfect time to look and say, how can technology support me? And the technology has changed significantly in the last, certainly since I've been doing it in the last 30 years, but even in the last 5 years. And I know that MealSuite has taken a leadership position in this, in the rebuild that you've done, and you've made some great progress in that area. And I think, looking forward, the things that you have planned are really going to get us to the next level. But even as the way things are now, it's the opportunity. You've got to make changes anyway. We got to get it right. We have to do it standardized. We don't have the resources to do these kind of things by hand anymore. And the technology has caught up with us. And so now's the time, because we're doing this with IDDSI. And again, it's one more thing where people are going to be like, oh my gosh, I mean, this is so complicated. It's important that we do this. This is what brings the level of care. This is elevating our level of care, elevating our quality, elevating safety, and the technology is there to support it. We on this upper level, dietitians, dining leaders, menu writers, et cetera, we can get ourselves to the point where we learned it. It took me 2 years to kind of get to the bottom of it. But then now we got to teach everybody else this, and we have to figure out what it is they need to know, because there's a lot in there, and we have to do it on an ongoing basis. And if we don't do this, the whole process can collapse. So that's why I came up with the training, and I figured out a way to just get the info that just the food service worker / caretaker / all other disciplines. And so it had to be a simple message, but it had to be an important part. It had to empower them and inspire them in a way. So that's why I revolve it around a theme. I put a theme behind the training, which is we test for safety. And that theme then, a big part of that theme is each of us has a role in keeping those we serve with chewing and swallowing problems safe.